Namaskar, welcome back to your weekend show, The Media Scan. Viewers, this week, people in Bangladesh voted for stability and peace by giving a landslide, a two-thirds majority win to the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the BNP. After more than 1 year of fighting, arson, killings and much more, it is believed that this will not only bring political stability, but also peace on the streets of Bangladesh. So, with the Jamaat winning about 77 odd seats along with its allies, and the BNP having a very clear comfortable majority, and the Awami League still struggling to get back into the mainstream, what do these results mean for the people of Bangladesh, for India-Bangladesh ties, and largely for the subcontinent? These are the questions we will go through in this very special episode of Media Scan. But before that, let's take a look at the results.
Bangladesh has spoken. In the elections to the 300-member Jatiyo Sangsad, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP has secured 212 seats, well past the halfway mark of 151. With a two-third majority, BNP does not need the support of any party to form a stable government. The Jamaat-e-Islami's 11-party coalition won 77 seats. With Awami League debarred from contesting, it is understood that some traditional Awami League votes may have gone to the BNP. A landslide victory for the mainstream BNP augurs well for stability. However, the radical Jamaat, which had been on the fringes, has now become the main opposition party. From India's perspective, the Jamaat winning almost all the seats adjoining the India-Bangladesh border has raised concerns among security experts.
So that was an overview of the Bangladesh election results for the Bangladeshi Jatiyo Sangsad. Now the question is, the Jamaat-e-Islami, which had been kept on the fringes for a long time, even though it had an influence on the politics of the country, is now the main opposition party with 77 odd seats, as I said. Even though the BNP doesn't need any support from the Jamaat or any other party to run its stable government, the question is, what impact will this have on the entire politics of the country? Does the coming of the Jamaat in the house with such a big number portend any serious scenario for our country, also the people of Bangladesh? And to put it in very short words, has Bangladesh rejected extremist forces or are they back with a bang? This is what we are going to discuss with our special panel here. I have here with me Dr. Smita Mishra. She is known for her multiple researches in geopolitics, particularly focused on South Asia, which includes a very detailed research on India-Bangladesh ties. Welcome, Dr. Patnaik. Namaskar. Also with us, joining me from Dhaka, Uddin Shoaib Choudhury, a journalist who speaks his mind no matter what the threat, editor of the Blitz. Welcome back. I am also joined by Bapaditya Basu. He heads the organization which is the Hindu, Buddhist, Christian Oikya Parishad or the Unity Council, primarily saying a body of united minorities parties. Welcome, Mr. Basu. We will have some interesting questions for you. But before that, I want to come to Shoaib first. Shoaib, very briefly, what is your reading of the results? Does the BNP victory indicate there will be peace and stability on the streets of Bangladesh finally? And what is going to happen to Muhammad Yunus?
Thank you very much. First of all, the massive size of seats that Jamaat-e-Islami got, it is no surprise because Jamaat actually got Awami League's vote. But for BNP getting that kind of majority, they got it even in 1991 and 2001. So I believe that for BNP now it's a massive commitment to the people of Bangladesh to bring peace in this country, restore peace. And my country was hijacked 18 months before 18 months by the Jihadis and Islamists, and the entire nation has been pleading. I do believe as a Bangladeshi citizen that the very soon this new government will restore law and order, and there will be peace in this country.
What does it mean for Muhammad Yunus? What will be his role in the new dispensation? Will there be any role?
For Muhammad Yunus, he was always plotting to destabilize, destroy Bangladesh and serve the purpose of his employer. Now for him, actually, the only one option, actually two, either he can flee the country or he can end up in prison, similarly as Mohammad Morsi of Egypt.
Okay, those are very emphatic words, if I may say. But Bapaditya Basu, coming to you, sir. I heard Tarique Rahman, who is now slated to be the Prime Minister of the country, and perhaps the one male Prime Minister after, I think, at least 3 decades. But interestingly, he said that whatever seats they may have won, their party, the BNP government, will not pursue a politics of revenge. They will not look for retribution. They will be ensuring that all segments of Bangladesh society can live together in harmony. How seriously do you take these words of Tarique Rahman? And what do you think the victory of these 77 odd seats of the Jamaat-e-Islami along with its allies means, or what does it portend for the minorities of Bangladesh?
Thank you for inviting me to your show. Actually, I want to be very optimistic, but still I can't be same. Because after the election, already in last 2 days, already at least 20 incidents happened on Bangladeshi minorities, along with a murder, or at least 10 fire attack to Hindu residents, one land grave case to Hindu minorities, one temple graving, and many more. So how can I be optimistic to Tarique Rahman? And another question is the Jamaat, they have occupied 77 seats, especially adjacent area to West Bengal border of India.
Yes.
Yes, in Khulna division, 25 seats from 36. In Rangpur division, 16 seats from 33. And Rajshahi division, 11 seats from 39. And all these area, Khulna division, Rangpur division, and Rajshahi division, all are adjacent to West Bengal border. And many of Hindu people live there. And Jamaat has a plan. Jamaat has a plan to clean all the Hindus from Bangladesh. They are operating a mission, ethnic cleansing, Hindu ethnic cleansing. And as they are the second party in Bangladesh, and I think they will be a part of government. Because if BNP would obey the result of yes or no vote, then Jamaat will be a part of government.
So 2 very quick questions, Mr. Basu. First of all, why do the plans of the Jamaat to make Bangladesh into a Sharia compliant country, society, and all that? We know all those things. We have seen their manifesto also. But when the rest of Bangladesh did not vote so overwhelmingly for them, why do you think these districts or these constituencies adjacent to the India-Bangladesh border went for them? Are these districts, these areas more radicalized than the others? Secondly, you refer to the yes and no vote. I believe you are talking of the referendum about the constitutional reforms. Why do you think the Jamaat will have a bigger role in that on that matter?
Because Jamaat-e-Islam, they are doing armed politics. They are doing they are the umbrella of all terrorism in Bangladesh. Pakistani ISI, their Dhaka cell of Pakistani ISI, along with Jamaat, want to make a Islamic Khilafat in Bangladesh. This time, I think Jamaat couldn't be successful to occupy all over Bangladesh, but they occupy all over Bangladesh is their ultimate target. And not only Bangladesh, they will disturb India also. And Ghazwatul Hind, their target is Ghazwatul Hind. Their target is Khilafat in Bangladesh. So they will try every of this. And especially in Rangpur, Rajshahi and Khulna division, there are many Hindus there, but they want to clean all the Hindus from those area and occupy all of this area. You know.
Okay.
In
So under these
1947
circumstances, yes, sir. Please make your point quickly.
You know, in 1947, Joshore, Khulna, this area, like Khulna division and Borishal division, was firstly, it was said that Joshore, Khulna, this area will be in Indian part, but after 47 division, we find it in Pakistan, and they are trying to make it a new Pakistan.
Fine. Point taken. We will also come to the question about what the minority should be doing under the circumstances with the concerns that you have raised. But allow me to come to Dr. Smriti Patnaik here. Ma'am, I wanted to know from you very clearly, does this result show that extremist and radicalized forces have been rejected by Bangladesh? Does it mean that they have been given a chance, though not the opportunity to form government? How do you really read these results?
I think we need to take into account that in this particular election, the Awami League was not allowed to participate. So, it was a kind of election where people were given choice between the 10 party led by the BNP and the 11 party led by the Jamaat-e-Islami. So, you know, when you have this kind of two conglomerate which are fighting for the election, you really do not have so much of choice, you know, it is either or. So, in this kind of situation, I would say that the BNP has got elected, but having said that, I would also say that the Jamaat show of even personally 68 seats is quite you know, a show of strength.
Yes.
Because you know, Jamaat which people used to reject earlier has got 5% seat, by 5% of votes. They in 1991 had got 12%, in 1996 8.65 or something like that, though I do not know what is exactly the vote percentage they have said, but definitely if you look at Bangladesh's history, their role during the liberation war, if you take all this into account, then you will think that you know, they really have done pretty well politically. It also is a kind of rejection of the politics which Jamaat has practiced, because if you remember, just prior to the election, the Amir of Jamaat-Islami had in an interview to Al Jazeera has very clearly said that women do not have any role in the politics, and also at one point of time Jamaat had proposed to reduce the working hour for the women. It is not that, you know, you are really feeling sympathetic towards the women or you think that women deserve less working hour, but it was much more to do with the kind of how the party looks at the women. So, they do not want the women to be out, to be working in the offices for, you know, for the definition is women place is at home to look after their children and husband. So, therefore, they should not be out.
So, you think this attitude towards women which was being articulated by Jamaat leadership again and again, that may have led to the fact that they did not get much more seats than 68, which is the Jamaat's own score, or they could have done much better?
I think, you know, women constitute nearly 50% of Bangladesh's voters.
Yes.
So, you can't have an attitude towards the women in this country. So, I am very sure the women actually did not vote for the Jamaat-Islami.
But
so,
ma'am, there is a question, and I have been reading up in the past 24 hours. A lot of people are saying that the reason the BNP got such a good victory could also be because in the absence of the Awami League, a lot of the mainstream vote may have actually shifted to the BNP because they would not vote for Jamaat at any cost.
It could be true, because like for example, though unlike 2008 when it was more than 80% voter turnout, this time it was 60%, much less compared to 2008. Nevertheless, it is significant. I think many of the Awami League voters could have shifted to the BNP, because not everybody is a cadre, not everybody has the kind of dedication a cadre may have for a particular
they look at
political
options.
party. Yes, because you are living in the country. The Awami League is not present in Bangladesh. So, tomorrow if you have any trouble in the local area, you have to go to the person whom you have elected. So, if you are not elected, then your grievances or any problem that you are facing probably will not be looked after. So, there is a local dimension to these elections. So, I think people have gone out and voted for the BNP.
Right. I want to come back to Salahuddin on that once more. Salahuddin, very quickly, what do you think will happen to the Awami League cadres, their leadership in the coming days, considering the recent statements of Tarique Rahman? And more importantly, we had seen a very, if I may say, very open and a very obvious kind of a role played by the ISI in the affairs of Bangladesh. All those statements coming about Northeast India, they were so telling. In this, after this result, what do you think is going to be the role of those kind of forces who have been threatening India's Northeast, threatening India generally, and making all kinds of calls in the Bangladesh society?
First of all, I'd like to clarify one point, that sitting in Bangladesh, I can clearly say that Awami League is already a non-existent political party in this country. Now, the seats that large number of seats Jamaat has got, these are not Jamaat's votes. These are the votes from Awami League, because the Awami League vote bank is about 3.5 crores. So Awami League voters could not afford to remain silent, because they would face some consequences if they voted. So originally Jamaat vote bank is just 8 to 10%, and that remains there. Jamaat is not the number of seats that we can see today. It is not like that. Number two, for BNP now, BNP's seat number of seats is not it's not surprising. In the previous elections also, BNP got similar size of seats. But as you question, what happens to the religious minorities? What happens to the imprisoned journalists? What happens to the overall law and order situation in this country? I think since the genie has been bottled on the 12th of February, I mean the Islamist genie and the Pakistani ISI, all blueprints have been fallen flat. I do believe, and I actually want to believe, that BNP is going to ensure that there is good governance. And what Bapada was mentioning about the attacks and incident, I think these are orchestrated by Jamaat-e-Islami and also members of News National Citizen Party, because they want to destabilize the situation once again. But I'm looking forward that BNP will ensure good governance, and we must have to have not only normalize, we have to strengthen our relations with India as soon as possible, and I'm sure BNP is going to do that.
Yes, and Tarique Rahman, hinted as much in very clear words in his very open, first statements after the results became clear. But coming to you, Bapaditya Basu, as Salahuddin has been indicating, it could be possible that some of these recent incidents may have been, engineered by the Jamaat and even other forces, because they want to destabilize the BNP, which is about to form government. But whatever may be the case, what are your expectations, your demands on behalf of the minorities of Bangladesh who have really gone through hell in the past 1.5 years?
Yes, we, Bangladesh Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council, we have 7-point demand. And this is not a new list. It's a previous list. We demanded it from Awami League government also, but they don't accept our demand. Our demand is minorities.
The BNP government will be more amenable, more responsive to your demands? Just asking.
I am not so optimistic. I'm not so optimistic, but
yes,
I still want to be optimistic. Let's see. Our demand is Minority Security Special Act. Our demand is Minority Commission, Ministry of Minority Affairs, implementation of Vested Property Return Act. At least 26 acres of land are occupied in the name of vested property or enemy property. Return of illegally occupied Devatta properties, temple trust properties. Proper implementation of Chittagong Hill Tract Peace Accord. Separate land commission for indigenous people of plain land. These are our demand. And we demand early release of Chinmoy Krishnadas Brahmachari. He is now in jail. And if whenever Tarique Rahman will sit in the chair of Prime Minister, we demand release of Chinmoy Krishna Das Brahmachari within 7 days. I don't know if BNP will do it or not. If BNP accept the result of referendum, Jamaat along with their allies will be majority in upper house. Then how BNP can manage their promises to people, I don't know.
Okay, okay.
So,
let me take that question to Dr. Patnaik also. Ma'am, there are 2-3 concerns being raised here repeatedly ever since the results. One is this high number of Jamaat members getting elected in all those constituencies adjacent to the India border. The second concern is, what it means for the security of our border areas, particularly the northeast. And the third question, which is more specific to India-Bangladesh ties, is will this make way for a reset, considering we've not had a very, a very positive relationship at all in the past 1.5 years?
I was looking at the election map, especially after the election. Yes, there are some areas which is dominated by Jamaat. Most of the seats have gone to Jamaat, but there are also patches where the BNP also has won the election.
Right.
And if you look at, it's when you look at this particular election, you say that they have won the border district. They have always been dominant in the border district. You look at 1991 map, 96 map, 2001 map. That will provide you a clear picture. If you don't look at the map, then suddenly you will think, oh, suddenly they have become dominant. But also at the same time, the domination in the border areas, of course, they have, I know that Jamaat was doing a lot of relief work in those constituencies also. They have been continuously doing such kind of work, like, looking at orphanage, whenever there is flood going and distributing, it's a kind of Jamatul Dawa kind what they do in Pakistan. But as far as India, Bangladesh is concerned, I think the border is extremely porous. More than 4,000 kilometers of the border that we share, and the terrain is extremely difficult. So therefore, any of the challenges that we face in these areas, border areas especially, it needs to be tackled by the border guarding forces of both the countries, and there needs to be a kind of cooperation between the border guard of the two countries, because often there has been accusation that the BSF is killing Bangladeshis. I think if you go to the border area, which I have been, I have spent a night going with the BSF on a patrol duty, just to understand how the patrol takes place. On the Bangladesh side, there is no presence of the Bangladesh border guard. So obviously, there is no way Bangladesh stops anybody coming near the border, whereas India has a curfew at that point of time in the night that you can't approach the border, but nevertheless people do approach, but Bangladesh doesn't have that kind of system. So to stop any kind of border incursion, I think the two countries need to cooperate. Second, very quickly,
so ma'am, on this there is a very specific question. The last term of the BNP was not very helpful in this concern, They gave shelter to all our northeast insurgents, all the leaders, Paresh Barua and all were feted by their government. Border was also completely ignored. Do you think there will be an improvement? Some people are saying Tarique Rahman indicates he has become matured and he may have a different approach from his mother.
2001 to 2006, it was a security nightmare as far as India is concerned. Yes. Not just this incident from the northeast was sheltered by the BNP government at that point of time. We saw after Awami League came to power, they were returned to India. We also saw the 10 truckload of arms that reached the Chittagong jetty. We also saw countrywide bomb blast in Bangladesh, including some of the suicide blast. So I think BNP also has moved on, and we must not forget between 2002 to 2006, BNP was in alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami at that point of time, and two of the ministries which Jamaat held at that point of time was agriculture and social welfare. And if you look at social welfare, the Jamaat minister was responsible for registration of many of the Islamic NGOs which started working in Bangladesh. So, I think the BNP's journey this time, it is a journey which the past is an indicator. There has been lot of conversation between India and the BNP regarding these security concerns and what happened between 2001 to 2006. Therefore, I would think that these considerations, this reaching out to the BNP, I am sure that probably it would not like to repeat what happened between 2001 to 2006. So, I would say it is BNP 2.0. So, it is a new person, looks dynamic, has a lot of promises he has given. So, let us give him a chance. He has got a chance, the electorate has given him a chance. So, I am sure he will act much more responsibly compared to the past.
Fine, I am afraid that is all the time we had, but thank you Dr. Patnaik for putting things so clearly in perspective, and to our friends Salahuddin and Bapaditya Basu, both of them joining us at the cusp of this new formation of government in their country. Best wishes to the people of Bangladesh who have spoken very clearly. But on that note, I have to wind up this conversation. One thought that is very clear is whether it is the minorities of Bangladesh or the India-Bangladesh relations, everybody is looking forward to more stability and a fresh perspective, not like what was experienced in the earlier term of the BNP, because lot of time, a lot has changed since then, and it is always better to be optimistic. India-Bangladesh ties may just be ready for the reset that was necessary. On that note, viewers, it is a wrap up on Media Scan. Do join us next weekend. Till then, namaskar.